What's going on, and welcome back. Now, this is the video that I wanted to make last week, but if you happen to watch last week's video, you'll see that I couldn't do it. It was just too much chaos going on around here. The cars were passing by. My son was raising hell with his friends online. So I thought, okay, I'll wait till Friday night or Saturday night to film. Here we are, Friday night, and it's like, and I'm thinking I'll do it like around 12 o'clock or so. And it was a little after 12. A neighbor across the street decides to turn his car on and leave it idling, and that thing is loud. I'm telling you, I don't know how he hasn't got the cops called on him for that shit, but it's just out there idling for like 30 minutes. 30 minutes! And then my son's still awake, raising hell with his friends online. So I'm like, oh my gosh, dude. So by the time my neighbor left, my son kind of settled down. It was 1 o'clock in the morning, dude. I was falling asleep. I couldn't stay up anymore. I was like, forget it. I'll get up in the morning and I'll start filming. And I got up this morning at 7. Everybody's still asleep. My son's still asleep. The neighbors are still asleep. And I thought, this is the perfect time to film. You know what? Actually, I think it's almost 9. Actually, it's almost 10. Oh my gosh. I'm a little bit late here. And now, the wind is blowing outside. Like, it's starting to pick up, and it's supposed to be windy all day long. And we all know, if you watched that video that I made that one time, it was a couple of weeks ago or a few weeks ago or whatever, I filmed on a windy day, and that's all you could, dude, that's all you could hear was the wind. So please, wind, please, just please calm down a little bit so I get to this video, please. I don't think it's gonna calm down. This wind is not gonna quit blowing. I think that I got like a second to no, it's not gonna happen, man. You know what? I have an idea. Let's change locations. Okay, so we're at the new location. You're probably wondering, where you at? I'm at my son's mom's house. You mean your ex-wife? Technically, we weren't married. But what am I doing here? Well, she's been out of town, and I've been dog sitting for her until she gets back. So I got the keys. I got the run of the place right now. And I didn't think about it, dude. Why didn't I think about this last week? She lives in a house. It's a block away from mine. But dude, it's quiet. You might hear like the refrigerator or something in the background, and every once in a while you might hear the wind a little bit in the window, but that's about it. Dude, it's perfect. You see what I mean? Anyways, dude, I need to get this video done, man. And I went to different rooms in the house except for hers to try to film, but it's all the same shit. They're all by a window where the wind's blowing. There's no getting away from this wind. So let's continue. And you'll probably hear the dog chewing on her food. Right, Roxy? Oh, too pretty. So I wanted to talk about like Are you done drinking water? Okay, let's try this again. So, bless you. Bless you. So, I wanted to talk about how I choose what games I play, right? There's advertising, there's announcements, word of mouth of what's going to be released. You know, they have state of play. You know, I'll watch that. And that Nintendo Direct. and I'll watch that, and I'll see what games are coming out, what's fixing to release, and I get excited for the new games and stuff like that. And of course, I have my games that I enjoy playing, like platformers, shmups, Metroidvanias. Oh my god, dude, I love Metroidvanias. Fantasy games, RPGs, dude, I actually do love RPGs, even though I don't talk about them a lot on the channel, hardly ever, but I do really enjoy them. As a matter of fact, right now I'm playing Octopath Traveler, and that game is, it's gonna take me forever. It's gonna take me forever. It's about a 60 plus hour long game, and if you know anything about like old school RPGs, you turn-based fighting, and man, random encounters while you're walking. So like every 10 steps, I run into a creature, I run into a battle, and I'm fighting for like 3 minutes. I'm like, this is gonna take me forever. So that's one of those games that I'm slowly playing because I know I'm not gonna get through it anytime soon. But you know, that sort of thing. I got my favorite genres of games that I enjoy playing. But every once in a while, I'll hear like a gaming soundtrack, and I'm like, oh my god, dude, what is this music from? What game is this music from? And I'll see it, and I'm like, I want to play this game so bad, just because of the soundtrack. Even though I don't know anything about the game, just listening to the music makes me want to play the game. And that's awesome, man, 'cause I really I love music a lot, and I especially love like heavy metal, and that's what I listen to a lot at work. But every once in a while I'm at work, I'll listen to like, you know, video game playlists, and I'll recognize some of the music that's playing on those playlists. Like I'll be like, oh, that's Ghost of Tsushima, that's, you know, Silent Hill 2, or, you know, The Last of Us, you know, Assassin's Creed. I can recognize, you know, the songs because I know my video game music pretty good. But every once in a while, a song will come on that I've never heard before, and I think it sounds epic, and it makes me want to play the video game. And when I see what song this is, I'm blown away for what game this is, for the song they're playing. So I'm gonna give you a few examples, okay? Dude, don't even start. Don't even start. The wind's blowing through the screen. Dude, just continue on. So, I'm at work, and I'm listening to this music, and I hear this song come on, and I'm like, oh my gosh, dude. This sounds like it would be from, like, you know, World of Warcraft, or, this is gonna show my age, you know, StarCraft. Some kind of top-down looking game, almost like Diablo. And I'm like, oh my gosh, what is this from? You know? And I'm listening to this, and I'm like, and I look to see what game it is, and it's from a game called Frostpunk. Never heard of this game, Frostpunk. But I'm really enjoying the music, so I check it out. It's a sim game, kind of like Civilization. I don't like playing Civilization. What the hell is that? The central air came on, perfect. I don't like playing games that are like Civilization or Railroad Tycoon. If you love those games, that's awesome. Good for you. I don't. I like The Sims. I don't like Civilization type games. But after hearing this soundtrack, I'm like, oh my god, dude. Oh my god, dude. what the hell's going on here? Anyways, somebody, I need to play this game. This makes me want to play the game so bad, and I think I need to give it a try, even though I don't like those sort of games. Just because of the soundtrack alone, I need to try it out. The fan kicked off. That's what I was waiting for. Okay, so this other song comes on, and I'm like, oh my gosh, what is this? This sounds like some kind of like Hobbit, Lord of the Rings game that I've never heard of, or something. That I was like, what is this beautiful piece of music coming from? What kind of awesome fantasy adventure game is this piece of music coming from? And I'm sitting here listening to this thing, and I look, and it's from Battlefield 5. I'm like, what? This is coming from Battlefield 5? I'm like, there's no way. And then I listen to the rest of the soundtrack, and I'm like, oh my gosh, dude. This game has a epic freaking soundtrack. Now, I'm not like a huge fan of first-person shooters. My son is. I'm not. I mean, I'm not saying that I hate him. I don't hate him. I'll play him once in a blue moon, but just hearing this, I'm like, oh my god, dude. I need to pick this game up. Just again, just because of the soundtrack. This thing has an epic soundtrack, and I need to play this game. And then I hear this. And I'm sitting here listening, or I'm not sitting here. I'm sitting there listening to this, and it's making me think of, like, you ever watched The Gladiator with Russell Crowe? At the very beginning of the movie, they're in the forest and they're fixing to have this huge battle. That's what this music reminds me of. And I'm thinking, this has to be a game that's like some real-time strategy type of game, right? And I'm sitting there listening to this, and it's actually Battlefield 1. I'm like, oh my gosh, dude. When the hell did first-person shooters get epic soundtracks? Now, you know, I like Halo a lot. That's a game that's kick-ass, and that has a kick-ass soundtrack. But I've never heard anything like this in a first-person shooter. So maybe I need to start looking at first-person shooters and start playing them, because I have a lot at the house. Call of Duty games, I don't know, but dude, I'm like, oh my gosh, what an epic freaking soundtrack, man. But that's what I'm saying. It's like, I'll listen to a soundtrack and it makes me want to play a game that I didn't even think twice about playing, that just went under my radar and I didn't even think about it. Music can do something to you that it's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. And that's how I pick, you know, some of the games that I play or that I want to play. It's just because of the soundtrack alone. If the soundtrack is really good, it makes you want to play the game. You know, I've listened to the Baldur's Gate 3 soundtrack like 100 times already since last year, and I haven't even played the game yet. And that's a game that I already wanted to play. What's crazy is, like, once I do play it, just hearing that music, it's just gonna feel so nostalgic. Even though it's a brand new game to me, it's already gonna feel nostalgic just because I've listened to the music like a million times, man. So yes, video game music is so awesome, and I need to start listening. I mean, I listen to a lot of it, but like I said, I'll hear music and video games. It just makes me want to like play them. And usually, normally I do. I got a wish list on Amazon right now with all the games mentioned in today's video. And I gotta pick them up because now I want to play those games so bad. So maybe within the next month or so I'll pick up the games. And then plus a couple of others that I didn't mention because I don't want this video to I don't want it to be too long, you know what I mean? So once I do get those games out, I'll show them to you, and we'll talk more about those. But yeah, I had to change locations twice, almost 3 times. I was like, okay, well, the air's on. I'll go to my son's little brother's room and film it there. And I kept hearing, like, what the hell is that? He's got a little refrigerator under his desk. I was like, that's not gonna work. I go to his little sister's room, and her room is right next to the central air. I'm like, that's not gonna work. I'm not filming in his mom's room because that's not gonna work. She'll watch this video and she'll be like, what the hell were you doing in there? It's like, not even going in there. So yeah, dude, like I told you, I can't wait to get my house work done, because that's gonna make a huge difference in the sound and everything's gonna be great. But anyways, I gotta get the hell out of here. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.